You're terrible. How could you ever be good enough? The most dangerous critic lives inside your own head. Have you ever spent a sleepless night asking yourself, why am I never enough? Even when you strive for perfection, finish your work early, and carry every responsibility, there's still that voice inside whispering, everyone else can do it. Why can't you? Carl Jung called this shadowy part the inner critic. It doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's the echo of past pressures and expectations, the critical words of parents, teachers, society, deeply etched into your subconscious. The irony? This voice thinks it's protecting you from failure, but in truth, it suffocates your freedom, kills your passion, and chips away at your confidence. Each time it shows up, you don't just doubt your abilities, you start to question your very worth. So how do you turn that voice into a source of strength? Mai, 30, is a high-achieving project manager. But in every meeting, her hands tremble, her heart races, terrified that colleagues will spot her mistakes. A familiar voice echoes in her mind. Everyone else can handle this job, except you. One day, she was invited to give a presentation. She declined immediately. I'm not capable. Only after much encouragement from a coworker did she reluctantly agree. And when others praised her performance, instead of feeling proud, Mai thought, they're just being polite. But the inner critic doesn't actually want to harm you. Jung saw it as part of the shadow self, born from memories of criticism and the fear of failure. It's a hidden defense mechanism, trying to shield you from shame or rejection. Once you understand this, you become less angry with yourself and begin the path of conversation, not combat. If you've ever felt like you are your own worst enemy, if every step forward gets dimmed by that inner voice whispering, you'll fail before you even begin, then this video and the entire Inner Critic series is your invitation to stop fighting yourself, to turn your critic into an ally, to let go of defensiveness and instead learn to listen and respond with compassion. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the technique of dialogue journaling, where you ask yourself questions like, confidence? What do you think about this? And learn to truly listen to the answers. You'll also practice affirmation journaling, writing down 3 accomplishments each day, no matter how small, to quiet the voice of judgment. Hit subscribe now and turn on the notification bell if you're ready to stop abandoning yourself and start your journey toward inner reconciliation. You may not realize it yet, but every time that inner voice speaks up, it leaves a lasting imprint. First comes delay. When you're about to start something, instead of focusing on solutions, you get caught up in the judgment. Can I really do this? Eventually, the project slips past the deadline and opportunities pass you by. Next is fear of judgment. When someone compliments you, you don't feel happy. You tell yourself, they're just being polite. You start to shrink back, hesitant to share new ideas, because that voice whispers, if you mess up, they'll laugh at you. And finally, risk aversion. Every new opportunity triggers the voice, this is too hard, you'll fail. You retreat into your comfort zone, a place where no one can criticize you, but where growth silently dies. This cycle keeps repeating until you choose to engage in dialogue with yourself. Recognize the critic's voice, listen to it, then respond with compassion. Thank you for the concern, but I'm still going to try, and I'll learn along the way. Picture the inner critic as 3 psychological loops that pull you into doubt and hesitation. Loop 1, the root of deep criticism. As a child, maybe one bad grade or a bold idea was harshly shut down by an adult. You internalized the criticism. Back then, you believed every word. You're stupid. Now, whenever a new challenge arises, the critic echoes, you failed before. This time will be worse. It doesn't just remind you of past mistakes. It denies your current potential and makes you tremble at the edge of opportunity. Loop 2, procrastination from fear of failure. The critic warns, try, and you'll end up crying alone. So you delay. I need more information. I'm still planning. As the deadline nears and opportunities slip by, the critic sneers, scared again, just like always. Procrastination becomes a habit. You lock yourself into a safe zone where growth can't reach you. Loop 3, hope mixed with doubt. You try again, read books, take courses, and tell yourself, this time I'll prove myself. But as soon as you take a step, the critic shifts its tone. If you're really talented, why do you need help? It doesn't go away. It just evolves from blame to suspicion. This spiral only ends when you recognize the true purpose of the critic, not destruction, but misguided protection from shame. Only then can you stop the one-sided fight and begin a compassionate conversation with yourself. In Jung's archetypal system, the inner critic belongs to the shadow self, the parts of ourselves we haven't yet accepted. The shadow isn't inherently bad. It also holds beautiful longings that were once labeled inappropriate or unacceptable. The inner critic was born to protect us from failure and shame, but its methods rely on judgment and harsh labeling. When you hear you're useless, that's not your truth. It's an echo from the past. Sarcastic remarks, unrealistic expectations, etched into your subconscious. Jung believed that only by bringing the shadow into the light does it lose its unconscious power over you. Research from positive psychology shows that dialogue journaling helps reduce obsessive thoughts and improves awareness of what's truly happening. By writing prompts like, I am confidence, what do I think about this failure? And answering with, here's what I've learned, you build a bridge between your inner voices, transforming criticism into compassion. Recognizing and recording the inner critic's voice isn't about giving it free rein. It's about responding intentionally and setting healthy inner boundaries. Now, take a few minutes to reflect and write. Open a notebook or notes app and create 2 columns titled, I am confidence and I am the critic. Under I am the critic, write common phrases it tells you. For example, you mess everything up. No one cares what you think. You'll fail like always. Then, under I am confidence, reply to each one with kindness and affirmation. I'm learning and improving with every step. My voice matters and deserves to be heard. Failure is a stepping stone for my growth. Next, jot down 3 positive things you accomplished today, no matter how small. Maybe you sent an important email, or nourished your body with a good meal, or simply paused to breathe and reflect. Comment below with 1 pair of statements between your confidence and your critic. This practice not only helps you spot negative thinking patterns, it plants the seed of a new, compassionate voice within. Now you know, the inner critic isn't your enemy, but a sign of something within you that hasn't yet healed. Instead of avoiding it, honor it, like a tough but caring advisor. When the critic begins its doubts, pause and say to yourself, thank you for the warning, but I'm still capable of finding a way forward. This simple shift not only lowers stress, but also builds inner resilience. You're no longer a victim of judgment. You become the one who gently redirects it. Remember, you don't have to silence the critic to succeed. You just have to teach it how to speak with compassion, so every warning becomes a chance for growth. Now imagine waking up one morning without the critic's noise in your head. Instead, you hear the quiet voice of confidence. Today, I'm ready for a new challenge. You sit down at your desk, open your notebook, and see 3 affirmations you wrote the night before. I am capable. I welcome every mistake as a lesson. I am worthy of success. When negative thoughts flare up, you pause, glance at those affirmations, and ask, is this more true than the thought I'm having? The anxiety may not disappear instantly, but you've reclaimed control. The critic no longer pulls you into panic. Slow motion scene. A woman smiles at her reflection, raising a pen like a warrior with her ally. Final words appear on screen. When you create the voice of compassion, the world will listen. You've walked with me through every layer of the inner critic, from harsh self-talk to dialogue to compassionate response. And now you hold the tools not just to listen, but to respond with kindness. And now I challenge you. Take on the 7-day no judgment challenge. Each day, ask yourself 1 question and write a response from confidence. Record 3 wins, no matter how small. And watch how your self-perception begins to shift. The Inner Reconciliation playlist is right ahead. Pick the first video to dive into detailed journaling techniques. And don't forget to subscribe, so you won't miss a single step in your journey toward self-love.